My name is WD Redneck Panda, and you need to subscribe to the Brogan Hillman Show.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back inside the Brogan Hillman Show, and today we have a very interesting video. It is how the Houston Texans will win the Super Bowl. They looked very good against the Browns. Before we get into it, the Bible verse. Today's Bible verse is Romans 12:2, and it goes, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." So what Romans 12:2 is saying is, do not fold to the pattern of this world. Do not be regular, ordinary. Do not do what everyone else is doing. Do not fall victim of the world. Live for God. Live for the glory of God, and you will see his will for you, and you will carry out his will that was assigned to you. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Bible verse. I hope it gives you a message. Hope it gives you some motivation. Make sure to subscribe as we're on the road to 600. We're almost there, 8 subs away. Last thing before we get started, Ghost Energy, please sponsor the show. Big fan of Ghost Energy. I drink it a lot. Let's get straight into how the Houston Texans are going to win the Super Bowl. So the Houston Texans are in a very interesting spot because they just made the divisional round, and as of now, the Bills are up 2 scores on the Steelers, so it's looking like they're going to be playing the Baltimore Ravens. The Texans are one of 4 teams to never have even appeared in a Super Bowl. That list includes the Browns, Lions, Jaguars, and the Texans, so it's a very secluded list, and they are one of the 4 looking to get off that list this season. Their projected matchup again is the Bills, who are 11-6 this year. Let's look at their team stats real quick, where they rank among teams in the playoffs. 23.4 average points per game, which ranks them 7th in playoff teams. There's 10 as of now. They have 247.4 pass yards, ranks them 3rd. 95.7 rush yards, which ranks them 9th out of 10. You can definitely tell they're more of a pass-heavy offense, more of an air raid offense than they are a ground-and-pound offense. CJ Stroud slinging that rock so well all season. They have 29 minutes and 15 seconds time of possession average, which is last in the NFL with teams left in the playoffs. They actually don't hold the ball that long. They usually score really fast, or they get like 3 and out. They punt it really fast. They don't have the ball most of the game in pretty much all of their games. They average 19.1 first downs per game, which is all right. It's 9th out of 10 in the playoffs, which isn't that good amongst playoff teams. They get 2.8 sacks per game, which ranks them 6th in the playoff teams, about dead middle. They get 65.9 tackles, which actually ranks them 1st amongst playoff teams. They get a lot of tackles because they're on defense a lot, obviously. And they have 1.4 takeaways per game, which ranks them 6th amongst playoff teams. Pretty solid stuff right here. You can definitely tell their offense consists of a lot of passing the ball, a lot of total yards coming straight off of the offense, coming straight off the passing game. First downs mostly coming straight off the passing game. They average around 6.4 yards per play, so a lot of dump downs, but they rely on some explosive plays here and there, deep shots to Tank Dell or deep shots to whoever. Let's look at their wild card result against the Browns real quick. 45-14 win. It was 14-10 Browns early on in that game, and the Texans just turned on the heat and never looked back, torching the Browns. CJ Stroud went 16 for 21 with 274 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 157.2, which is nearly perfect as a rookie in the NFL. In his first NFL playoff game, in the wildcard game, goes out and torches the Browns. It was insane. They won by what was that, 31 points? Lit that game up. Near perfect execution. They rushed the ball 22 times for 76 yards. Again, they're not a big ground and pound run the ball team. 3.5 yards per rush. You can see why that's not the greatest. And they had a rushing touchdown with Devin Singletary. Their defense played really well. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, which were both returned for touchdowns. That's part of the reason why that score got ran up so high. 2 pick sixes, that'll do it to you. 11 tackles for loss, which is a very good stat, very crucial stat. And then 7 QB hits, just laying the pressure on Joe Flacco and that O-line all day. 5 passes deflected. Want to make sure they just got off the field. They wanted to make stop after stop, and they did so. They exceeded their expectations when it came to making stop after stop. They had the ball for 24 minutes and 34 seconds. Again, Browns had the ball a lot longer. They had the ball for 35 minutes and 26 seconds. So the Texans don't have the ball that often in these games. They just capitalize when they do have the ball, and they get a lot of takeaways, put points on the board very fast. So they don't have the ball for long, but they execute and they put points on the board when it matters most. So some of the teams, they have 3 teams they have to get through to make the Super Bowl. Those teams are the Ravens, the Chiefs, and right now it's looking like the Bills. Steelers could come back and win, but as of now, it is the Bills up 31-17. We're going to look over what they need to do against each team and what each team's weaknesses and strengths are, and how they're going to capitalize to get past these teams and advance to the Super Bowl. The first team is the Baltimore Ravens. Their strengths are they lead the NFL in rushing. They're such a good rushing team. They are the best rushing team in the NFL, the best ground and pound team, and it's not even that close. Lamar Jackson's just so elusive. He's so good in the pocket. Obviously, we all know this. They average 163 rush yards per game, which is a great great number. They just love to run the ball, and they are very weak when it comes to special teams and injury concerns. They are a team that gets banged up and injured often, and that special teams unit, even with Justin Tucker, one of the greatest kickers of all time, has not looked that good as of recent. They can capitalize off special teams errors, and they need to capitalize off players that might usually excel that are a little banged up or might not even be in the lineup at all because of injury. They can capitalize on that. They can go straight at them, and a key to beating the Ravens when they have to go against them probably next week is stopping the run and limiting what Lamar can do. They need to make sure Lamar isn't breaking off big plays, play after play, gaining momentum. They need to limit Lamar, and they need to play clean games. They didn't throw any, they had no takeaways, no turnovers last game against the Browns, which is one of the reasons they were able to run it up to 45, and they need to get takeaways, which they did against the Browns. They had 2 pick sixes. If you can replicate a performance like you had against Cleveland, you can beat that Ravens team. You can easily move past that Ravens team and make the AFC Championship. So that is what they need to do against the Baltimore Ravens. The second team is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Embarrassing.
And the Chiefs are very, very strong with offense in terms of passing. Obviously, they have Patrick Mahomes, and a theme you're going to see is elite level quarterbacks. All 3 teams have elite level quarterbacks. They just need to limit Patrick Mahomes and what he can do in that passing game. They need to capitalize against a very weak rush defense, which is the Chiefs' weakness. Their rush defense is not that good. The Texans have a very solid O-line, Larry Tunsil and other good pieces. If they give CJ Stroud time, he can tear apart the other team. They can tear apart that Chiefs secondary, big play after big play. They can get points on the board, and they can keep the game moving. They need to get points against the Chiefs defense if they meet them in the AFC Championship. And they need to capitalize. They need to not waste any possessions again, play a clean game, and get some points going on the board to beat Patrick Mahomes' squad. The third and final team in the AFC is the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are very strong when it comes to their receivers and explosive targets and plays. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, James Cooks are all big play capable, not to mention Dalton Kincaid, their rookie, and Dawson Knox at tight end. They are very, very electric. They make big plays left and right. One second they'll be at the 25-yard line, and another second they're at the other 25-yard line after 1 or 2 plays. They move the ball fast, very electric team. They need to limit those plays. They need to limit Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, and they need to play clean. What they need to do is they need to also get pressure. They had 7 QB hits against the Browns. They need to get pressure in against Josh Allen, have him make errant throws, terrible passes, terrible reads, just get him confused, get him like uncomfortable, and just get him to make bad reads like he did in the first half against the Dolphins. Just get him uncomfortable in a position that he does not want to be in. You guys will be set. The Houston Texans can make a run. If they stick to this, they keep playing clean football, they can make a run, and they have a shot at this thing. I think the Texans can do it. I think the Texans are contenders for the Super Bowl this year, and if not this year, the next 2-3 years, I think they're going to be a dynasty down the road. I really think they do. I think they're going to win a Super Bowl in the near future, and I do not think that is out of reach. Again, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, get to 600, then 700, then 1,000, but that's down the road. As always, keep God number one, trust, keep your faith in God, and I'm out.